Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last session of the 4 sessions workshop series for Flutter Festival 2022. So, the topic for today's workshop is Firebase and Flutter, as you can see on the screen. We'll be beginning in a few minutes. We have a lot of things in the session today because this is going to be the last session. So, you can ask all your doubts that you have regarding the completion for this Flutter Festival 2022. We'll also be releasing the submission form today. Just a few minutes more. Then we'll head on to the agenda of the session. Okay, so let's move ahead. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so this is the agenda of today's session. We'll be discussing Firebase for the first few minutes. Then we'll have a quiz. We'll discuss who is the winner in the 30 days completion of the tasks. And in the conclusion, we'll be sharing the submission form. Okay. So now my friend Amlan, the lead of the Android team, will be continuing with the Firebase session.
Our Amlani is facing some technical issues. He'll be back in 2 minutes, so please kindly wait, everyone.
So is my slide visible?
Yes, Amisha, your slides are visible.
Okay. So we'll be discussing what is Firebase. It is basically a platform to power your app's backend, including data storage, user authentication, static hosting, and a lot more. And what more is, it is backed by Google Cloud, which is an online storage system and which lets you scale your app to billions of users, which is normally not available without cloud. We can, with Firebase and cloud together, we can have it all. As you can see the features of Firebase, we can have real-time database system. Real-time database means we can have, as we add the database or data into our file, it can be easily refreshed and easily be used by Firebase. It also integrates cloud messaging system, authentication system, and database querying. Like what are the steps that we need to extract from the database? What is the data? We use queries for that. There is app indexing and there is Firestore. Let's also take a look at the official site of the Firebase. So this is how the official site looks like. We have to sign in with our ID here, and as you can move ahead you will see what are the products and what are the functions that Firebase does, and these are the extensions, and these are the apps which make use of Firebase a lot. You must have heard of Trivago, The Economist, Wattpad, Gameloft. Almost all of you must have used. So all of them use Firebase in the backend, and it has a long way to go in the future as well. So let's move back. Let's take a look at the history of the Firebase. It first began in 2011. Before it was Firebase, it was a startup called Involve. And as Involve, it provided developers with an API that enabled the integration of online chat functionality. So basically, it was developed to add a user to be able to message on their system through the website. And later on, a year later, it was created as a separate company, which not just provided chat facility but also other backend facilities in real time. In real time, it means, I hope you are aware that as soon as you add the data, it is easily worked on upon it. That is what we mean in real time. You don't have to wait about the data being uploaded or being worked upon. And so now moving ahead, in 2014 it was acquired by Google, and since then it has rise risen to a large scale, and it has evolved into a multifunctional platform for mobile and web both. So let's move ahead. Like we saw in the site, these are the basic three functionalities that we can have on the Firebase. We can build products through Cloud Firestore. We can authenticate our app and add authentication to it. We can analyze the analytics, like who are watching your app and what is the number of interactions with the app. And that is what engaging is, also a similar thing, but engaging also involves testing and messaging campaigns and remote configurations. So from here my friend Amlan will continue.
Okay, my screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, Amlan, you may continue.
Okay. So first we have to go to the browser and go to Firebase console. Hmm. So click on Get Started. We have to integrate Firebase in our under Studio. So click our project, then enter your project name. Let's demo 2. Then continue. Here you can also enable the Google Analytics for your project. Then select an account. I choose the default account for Firebase. Then create project. It takes some time. Okay, now our project is ready. Uh, First of all, you can see that there are three options: iOS, Android, and web. We just built the Android app, so we have to first configuration Android. Here it is the for registering app. It is required our Android package name. To get the Android package name, go to Android Studio and they to under Android, then go to your build gradle. Sorry, go to the app level build gradle. Then you can see your Android package name right here. com.android.application. Copy that and go to the browser and your package name. Then you can give any name to your project. Then for any authentication purpose, you here SSH1 key will be required. SSH key is the secure hash algorithm. It is used to provide the data integrity and authentication. To get SSH key, we have to go under Studio. There are two methods to get the SSH key. First method is go to the build gradle and then right here open for editing in under Studio. Click that, then open in a new window. It takes some time to configure. Please wait. Then under Android, go to tags, then Android. Here you can see the signing report. So click on that. You can see that the Android signing report is configured. Mm, okay. Yes. Go to off and you can see uh, in config debug you can get your SS key for your Firebase project. Copy it and go to your Firebase and paste here. It is optional, but if you want to add authentication feature in your app, you have to give the SS key and SSH256 key to register your app. Then click on register your app. Hmm. Then you have to download that Google services.json file and add to your Android project. So let me download. Okay, go to Android Studio. Hmm. You have to add that JSON file under the Android folder. So drag it here to Android refactor. Now you can. Okay, there's some error. You can see that the Google JSON file is successfully added here, and then go to next. You have to add some dependencies on your app level build gradle file. So we have to add this line to the project level gradle structure. Then go to Android Studio, Android level build gradle here right here. You have to add this below this code. Then save it and go to Firebase and you have to add this and this code to the Android and app level build gradle. So copy it and go to Android Studio. Then you have to Android and app level build gradle. Click it and You have to add this code right here. This for Firebase, and this code is for Firebase Analytics. Okay. Save it. Then go to next. Now you are all set for an Firebase. Then continue to the console. Here you can saw that the authentication feature, Firebase, Firestore database, real-time database, storage, hosting functions, and many more. So to understand, to teach all the Firebase feature with code in one video is more difficult. So we have just in this session I will just show you that how the data will be updated in the backend. So I have already an app here, and this is the database for that app. Wait a minute. Okay. You can see that my phone number is already registered, so I delete this account and sign up again. So here I'll put my number, waiting for OTP. There is many signing options there. You can also sign in through email password, Google login, Facebook login. Here I will just use the phone login system by Google. You can see that the OTP auto OTP capture is there, and I'll just adding my name for sign up, email, then date of birth, select gender, nationalities. This is a demo app, so okay. Yes. Okay. After submitting that, sign up successful message will be come. And if I refresh this page, you can see that my number is already added, and this is the user ID for my for my app. So then, yes, um, we can also you can also use the Firebase storage. Let's see. Let's I just update my photo here. Okay. Then going to storage, Firebase storage. You can see that my photo will added. So right, these are the free services given by the Google. Then coming to Firestore, this is no SQL. So here in SQL, what happened? Ki we just put all the data through the tables. But in NoSQL, we add the data through collection, documents, and fields. You can see that I just register my phone number, and the user ID is starting from X, and this is my user ID. uh, and the data I will feed just it will add it through some fields and collections. Then coming to Firebase pricing, just a minute. Hmm. Coming to pricing of Firebase, uh, there are many features are free, and there are many features are paid. You can use Firebase. Let me know. For A/B testing, analytics, AP, app distribution, and app indexing, that it is free. And authentication purpose, it is 10K. You can authenticate 10K users per month freely. And you can also use for Firestore data. You can use 1 GB free access, and for cloud function is not applicable free. You can also host your projects on through Firebase. It is free for 10 GB. It gives 10 GB free storage. You have also you can also custom your ML models through Firebase. There are some real-time databases. It is generally used for the chatting apps. Your cloud storage is there. It is all about the Firebase. I request Shamisha to carry forward the session.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial for. Yes, Amlan, you can keep sharing the screen. I'll just continue. Uh, I hope you learned how to link an app to the Firebase. And so that was the main agenda of the session. Those who are attending can fill the form for the attendance, and after that we'll have a short quiz just like yesterday. And after the quiz we'll be announcing one special winner. So after a minute we'll be getting ahead with the first question. So can we have the first question? So this is the first question. Firebase is the backend platform for building web applications or Android applications or iOS or all of the above. So let's see. We'll be ending in a minute. This question will change in a minute. I guess this was the first thing that was discussed in the session, like what is Firebase used for. Let's move ahead to the next question. In which format is the data stored in Firebase real-time database? This too was discussed in the tutorial, so let's hope for the correct answers. 30 seconds to go, and we'll have the next question on the screen. Okay, so let's take a look at the third question. What are the features of Firebase? Is it hosting, authentication, or real-time database? These are the basic features. So not very tough ones, quite easy. So anytime you'll have any of these features, you can move to Firebase. We'll be moving for the fourth question in a few seconds. Okay, so let's move to the fourth question. What is the correct syntax for Firebase authentication instance? So this, you need some practice for this one. You just have 1 minute for each question. Moving on to the next question, let's look at question number 5. Who is the founder of Firebase? Is it James Templin, Guido van Rossum, Dennis Ritchie? We'll take a look at the answers after this question. This quiz ends. This is the last question and the last minute. Okay, so let's take a look at the answers. So Firebase is the backend platform for building. The right answer was all of the above because it mentioned web, Android, and iOS, all three of them. And in which format is data stored in the Firebase real-time database? That is JSON object. As we saw in the tutorial as well, the JSON file was transferred in Android Studio. And the third question was, what are the features of Firebase? It was hosting, authentication, and real-time database, which is all of them. And which is the correct syntax for Firebase authentication instance? So this is it, the Firebase auth class and the variable name with the dot instance method. And the last question, who is the founder of Firebase? It is James Templin. So this was all about the quiz. Now we'll now be moving ahead to the special winner. as in the as it was mentioned in the task, you had to complete 3 tasks for the successful completion of the Flutter Festival. Task 1 was cloud quest. You had to gain 4 badges. Task 2 was completing building a Flutter app through the code labs. And task 3 was optional, a dev library contribution. But that was the most interesting task because you had to submit a completed application or any blog project to the official dev library maintained by Google, and if it was accepted by Google, you were supposed to receive the swags. So prizes are up for Gokul KS from Kumara Guru College of Technology, whose blog has been published on the dev library. Can we take a look at the blog? So his blog topic was using GraphQL in Flutter apps. You still have time, those who are up for the prizes and swags. Gokul KS is eligible for the special swag. So this is the blog that he mentioned and published. You can also try a hand at this and submit your contributions at Dev Library. So congratulations Gokul for this successful contribution. And finally, we are heading towards the end of our session, and we'll be giving the submission form for all those who have completed the task 1 and task 2. You are eligible for prizes, and those who have completed task 3 or are willing to complete, you can also fill up this form. The submission form is already in the comment section. So you can save it and it will be mailed to you as well. We can also take a look at the submission form, what all things you have to fill. You have to fill your details. So these are the general details, and then you have to move ahead. And there is the list of the tasks. First of all, it will ask whether you have completed task 1, which was supposed to be completing the 4 cloud quests. And if you have completed, you'll have to submit the public profile of the Google Cloud ID with which you have completed the labs. And this is the sample URL. And if you don't have the idea how to make your cloud profile public, you can look at the steps here. And next ahead is asking if you have completed task 2, which was building the first Flutter app using the code labs. Some of them had problems in receiving the badges. That is from the Google's end error, and it will be resolved. We have already mailed to them. So you can submit the app that you have built in a zip file or at the video demo or the series of screenshots. You can put it in a PDF and you can submit. And if that is not feasible for you, you can also upload those things on your drive, or you can upload the project on GitHub and submit the link. And as I mentioned, task 3, which was optional for dev library contribution, if you are able to complete this one, apart from the certificates, you'll also be receiving the swags. We'll be reaching out to you on the mail and it will be shipped to you. So this is the submission form. And that's all for Flutter Festival 2022. Do fill up the form and win the prizes, and those who are attending the session as well will be receiving the certificates. So don't forget to fill up the submission form. Any questions, then you can ask. Otherwise, this was all for the session. And the last day to submit the form is March 30th, because that is the day when the program ends. And within a week, your certificates and prizes will be mailed to you. So stay tuned. Okay, thank you everyone.